Grab a cup of joe, buckle up, and let's embark on a journey of self-discovery, creativity, and entrepreneurship. Let's get rolling.
Welcome back to the Rhythm of the Road podcast. I hope that vibrated in your space, in your ears, in your car, on your computer speakers, wherever it is. And I wanted to do that just to abruptly show you that you need to stop slamming the door on you. That's right. I said that. Stop slamming the door on you. So often we take care of everyone else. We worry about all of the other things. And then we forget about working on us. What's next for us? What's the thing we need to be working on so that we can grow and be the best version of us we can? And whether that's a long road or a short road or something easy you need to work on, it doesn't really matter. But stop slamming that door on you, because you're not helping anyone else by doing that. And so often lately, I've run into it really for myself. Like I was slamming the door on myself on all the things that were opening to me, and I was just slamming the door. I would and don't hear me say that like I was saying no, but I wasn't even paying attention to it, or I wasn't even giving it the time, or sitting in it and allowing myself to even consider the opportunity, or think about where was I actually headed, or what advantage would this actually play for me. And so often we try to just keep going and we forget to stop and do that pause, because otherwise we're just slamming the door on ourselves and we're not giving ourselves those opportunities that we truly need so that we can move forward, or that we can excel, or that we can allow that next thing to come into your business, come into your life, come into your relationships, but you keep slamming that door on it. So take some time in the next day, in the next hour, in the next week, and just sit with what might one or two of those things be that you maybe in the last week have slammed the door on. It could be simple. It could be a relationship that you're trying to build. And trying to build relationships doesn't mean to be a forceful thing. It just needs to be reaching out and connecting. How many seeds are you dropping? Where are you planting those seeds? And then the not slamming the door is pour some water on them once in a while. I was just having a conversation with a friend about just building relationships and networking, and how do you get to do and have access to these new opportunities. You have to just keep watering and keep creating those opportunities for yourself. And it doesn't need to be this rigorous schedule of like every day of every hour you're like have it all mapped out. Like there are some folks that I just create a cadence, right? And give myself kind of just like a regular rhythm on how I reach out to them. And reaching out to them doesn't need to be anything more complicated than, wow, it's Wednesday. I hope your first half of the week went as good as mine. Or if your week isn't going good already, hopefully this at least gives you 10 seconds of a pause to think about maybe it's not going so bad. And I can tell you that if you just continue to do that type of a system, right? And it doesn't even have to be described as a system, but like if that's just how you interact with folks on a regular basis, it's going to make a difference, right? And making a difference doesn't always mean, and it definitely doesn't for me, something that becomes something transactional, right? And somewhere down the road, that could happen. That could be an outcome of you doing this, or it could just be an outcome of you being a good person and being who you are and not slamming any of those doors that might create opportunities for you. And don't hear me say that you shouldn't be closing doors, right? That's different. If you're closing doors on relationships that are not healthy for you. You might be closing doors on clients because they're not a good fit for your business and they don't fit with your mission and your core values of what you're trying to do. But what I really don't want you to do is slam that door on yourself. Give yourself that opportunity to walk through the door for you so that you can keep showing up for you, and sit down and decide what might that next thing be. I have like a laundry list of things that I'm considering in 2025 for me personally. And then I have a few friends and some folks in my inner circle that have had the opportunity to be like, why do you even want to do that? What's the point? What are you going to gain? What's the reasoning behind why you would do that? And instead of me just slamming the door shut on it, I just spending some time sitting with it, giving myself an opportunity to like really live with and really discover what those answers might be. Because my answer to those questions so far have been, I'm not sure. So far, it just feels like the right direction to go into, but nothing's making me run towards it. But certainly nothing's making me say, I'm good. I'm going to take a break. I'm not interested in that right now. Maybe I'll just put it over here on the side for a while and see if it comes back to my headspace or my opportunities or the direction I'm headed later on. Because that has happened for me too. I had it happen 2 weeks ago. I had a friend reach out to me thinking, just wanting to have a conversation, which I haven't had a conversation with him in a while. And it's one of those, you just reach out and connect every once in a while on a semi-regular cadence, which could be anything from a month to 6 months. And it turned into an opportunity to do something very big and very unexpected. But this was from building those relationships, dropping those seeds, and continuing to just show up on that regular cadence. It showed somebody that I could bring value to what they're doing outside of what their business is and bring them to a next level in something that they're working on, and saw value in enough of my skills and abilities and talents to bring that forward for them. And who knows, this is, whatever, March of 2025. You're going to hear this episode right at the end of the month. So hopefully you'll hear some sort of success story somewhere down the road on this podcast. And I'll try to mark it and remember that episode 76 is where we first talked about it. So somewhere down the road, you're going to hear some sort of success story from whatever that yields, right? I'm not the kind of person who just jumps into it and says, all in on this, and now it's the only thing I do, right? I've learned that even though you can hop into opportunities, you can move into them at the pace that makes sense to make sure that you can stay consistent and stay going with the things that you already have right in front of you. But that opportunity wouldn't have come if I would have kept slamming the door on myself, developing myself, learning, creating new opportunities for myself, developing new talents, learning more, being a student, reading, taking care of myself, taking care of my brain, having coaches, having mentors, using all these people that are in my circle. So don't slam the door on you, because it's the thing that is going to get you down the road to the next thing that is already waiting for you. And it's just waiting for you to show up. And I'll see you all down the road.
Thanks for cruising with me on this episode of Rhythm of the Road. Remember, the journey itself is the destination. Until next time, keep the rhythm flowing, and we'll see you down the road.